And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On this week's Pop Culture Cosmos, it's a special Pop Culture Cosmos. TJ Johnson and I spend an entire hour covering what has gone wrong with Xbox and can it be fixed. We provide some ideas, we provide some hope, and we also detail the rise, the fall, and hopefully someday rise again of Xbox as we cover once again with our What's Gone Wrong series, Xbox, in our latest Pop Culture Cosmos right there for you wherever you get your podcasts. On this week's episode, coming up of the NBA Observations, it's now available for members right now. You could go ahead and get it. Go ahead and check it out as far as for members after the show today, if you like, because Caleb Ponce is back again. He and I talked about the OKC Thunder, the team he covers, only undefeated team in the NBA. Plus, we delve deep into some of the darker side of the NBA, aka Brooklyn Nets and New Orleans Pelicans. What's gone wrong with those teams? The mistakes they've made. Is there any hope? We talk about that and some of the other losing teams around the NBA. Plus, does anybody really care about the NBA Cup? We talk about that. And is Sam Presti possibly going to go somewhere else before the end of his career? We talk about that possibility as well on the latest NBA Observations, available now for members, and tomorrow will be available right here for everyone on the Lakers Fast Break. Also want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Joe Soro. I believe he is on his Joe Soro Experiment channel now, praising the Dodgers. A little bit late. Better late than never, but he is doing it. So if you want to check out Joe praising Dave Roberts like you never thought he would ever do this time a certain period ago, maybe last year, year before that. But I will say this, he has been not on the Dave Roberts bandwagon. Listen to him for the next hour or so after the show as well. Talk about Dave Roberts and praise him for Dave Roberts as far as is concerned. So, yes, he's talking about that right now on this Joe Soro Experiment channel. But go ahead and check out his playback channel for some great stuff that's going on with the NFL season now that baseball season's over. And then, of course, my channel, the Lakers Fast Break, for all the NBA and Lakers action from Vari and me showing you guys as well. Also as well, I want to go ahead and mention right above me, right there, Luka, watching from the sidelines and watching right above my head. It is the Luka Doncic fan art right alongside Kobe Bryant with the Sega Game Gear style fan art as well. That awesome canvas art. Plus, I still got Kobe and Gigi, always thinking of them right here in the pillow, because my good friend at Trip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. That's right, at Trip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Go ahead, follow him. Tell him what you're looking for. Hat, pillow, shirt, canvas art, something else. Tell him what design you're looking for. Maybe to celebrate the back-to-back world champion Dodgers. Maybe to celebrate Luka and LeBron and Austin Reaves in a awesome Lakers year. Maybe it's something else in mind, pop culture style. Maybe Taylor Swift or Demon Slayer or Pokemon or something like that. Tell him what you're looking for, because it's not just for the sports fan in your life. He makes stuff for other people as well in your family. So a great holiday gift would be stopping by at Trip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter as well. And don't forget my interview that I had with author Yaron Weitzman. I want to let you know that his great book is still out there as far as his awesome book, again, on the LeBron Lakers. I'm telling you guys, you got to go ahead and check out this book. It's going to be in the description below. A Hollywood Ending, the dreams and drama of the LeBron Lakers. It is now available. It is on wherever you get your books. It is the #1 selling sports book, and I had a chance to interview the author, Yaron Weitzman, right here on this channel. So check it out and then go get yourself the book. If you have a Lakers fan in your life and that wants to find out behind the scenes for a book that the Lakers did not want you to see or read, go ahead and check out A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of LeBron, Lakers Indeed. So yes, a lot of good stuff going on here with the Lakers Fast Break. And don't forget, the NBA Observations for Everyone drops tomorrow, but you can watch it right after this show if you're a member for just $2.99 a month. But also like and subscribe to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast, or when we drop the latest video right here for you at the Lakers Fast Break as well. Well, the Lakers gave us some bad news earlier today. I guess the word load management is something we're going to have to get used to in the modern era of the NBA. So today, on a back-to-back, Austin Reaves and Luka Doncic were sat down for the day. They joined the team supposedly during the course of the game. Yesterday, Austin hurt his groin. Didn't say anything about it after the game from what I saw in the interviews. I must have missed it. But he was sat down. And, of course, observing the leg contusion and the finger issues that Luka Doncic had, they sat him down too. So they flew up to Portland. And once again, Portland would be getting a shorthanded team twice in 2 weeks on the second of a back-to-back nights. Would Portland go ahead and feast on the shorthanded Lakers when they once again faced off against the Trailblazers, this time in Portland? Well, the Lakers, I will say this, they had a very gutsy performance tonight. I am so proud of them and happy for them. You know what? As Mark would say, you got to go ahead and look JJ's way too. They had a game plan to stay in this game in the first half. They could have easily let it get away from them, and they didn't. They were down by 9 at the first, came back with a strong second quarter, third quarter, and actually the second half as a whole. They really came in clutch, and they found themselves a guy that was hot. It's always nice to, as a coach, when you go out there and you find them or find the right person that will go ahead and get that right notes. Find them on the day that it's their day. And today, JJ looked down that lineup. He looked down that bench, and he found the right guy. And that guy was Nick Smith Jr., a two-way player at the present time. A former first-round pick from Charlotte Hornets, late first-rounder, let go by Charlotte during the course of his rookie contract. They just said that just did not want to keep him. They did not see him growing in potential after a year where he scored almost 10 points a game for the team last year. Just didn't see enough in him to keep him on for another season because they had that right. So he became a free agent. Rob Pelinka picked him up, and we saw a little bit of signs of his scoring ability during the course of the exhibition season, but nothing really wowed anybody. But like I said, JJ, when he looked down that bench, he looked down at that bench and saw the right guy, and that guy tonight was Nick Smith Jr. As Nick Smith Jr. really exploded tonight, especially in that second half. He was the key to the game in that second half with 25 points overall, 10 of 15 shooting, 5 of 6 from 3, the game of his life, the game of his career, supported by an outstanding performance. The revenge game for Deandre Ayton this time around, 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 block shots. Rui Hachimura chipped in with 28 himself, 2 of 4 from 3, and everybody else played hard, rugged defense. Even Bronny contributed with 5 points and 6 assists, and you got to give him credit because he did show up today. And also Dalton Connect with 8, Jake LaRavia with 11, Marcus Smart with 9, and the Lakers got it out a 123-115 victory. Just a tremendous performance. His name is Nick Smith Jr. He's a former first-round pick of the Charlotte Hornets that the Charlotte Hornets let go after during the summer. So they just did not want to extend his rookie contract. So, it is what it is. And of course, the Lakers benefit, and it helped them win the game. I'm hoping the Lakers will be able to find a way to put him on a full-time guaranteed contract because he certainly earned it tonight. But we'll have to wait and see what exactly the future holds for this guy. But again, a great performance tonight. Absolutely got hot at the right time for the Lakers. And when it seemed like Portland in that second half was getting closer and closer, because they had their starters in there. They had their players in there. Their rotation outside of Scoot Henderson was pretty much intact. And they played them tonight. And they didn't function well at all for a team that was 4-3 heading into the game themselves, just behind the Lakers in the standings. But when it came right down to it, the Lakers found a way as they got closer and closer. I think they were down by, I think they got it down to a 1-point lead in that fourth quarter, but the Lakers, they prevailed. They fought back, and Nick Smith Jr., time and time again on possession after possession, kept making shots from inside the key, from outside the three, and absolutely what a great performance and a much needed one. And JJ hit on the right button today as the Lakers improve to 6-2 as they are 123-115 victors. Let me hear from you guys out there. What's going on? Truly appreciate the best Lakers chat that's out there is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly cannot thank you enough for supporting us. Again, I cannot thank you enough for being a part of what we do each and every time out. Looking forward to hopefully getting some of the guys here on. I know they're very busy, but hopefully looking forward to getting some of the guys here on the show, here to talk with you. SC, what's going on? Fine on. SC. Don't forget SC in LA. Yep, absolutely. 20th ranked. They still have a chance, USC fans, to get themselves in the playoffs, but they have to win out. There's no more room for error. They have to win out, and that includes a matchup against Oregon. So that's never a fun time. But also here today is a good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out at Next Sports Media. It is Legend 350. He popped up on our simulcast on the YouTube portion. Great to have you here, my friend. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. I know that's like you expected a loss. I expected a loss when you see those names, Luka and Austin, out for today for. I just wish they would just say load management. I don't like the excuses or the explanations, or at least on Luka's they said leg contusion management. Just say load management.
Yeah, just say load management.
Just say it, to stop trying to pretend. Just say it.
We all know what it is.
Yeah, we all know what it is. I mean, they'll be fresh as daisies on Wednesday. We get it. We understand it. But with that, though, I thought they were punting this game. Joe and I, over the past 2-3 years, as No Joker wants to prop up Bronny for his 6 assists. Thank you, No Joker, for the super chat. Truly appreciate it. I can't even fault Bronny today. I don't think even if awful coaching cannot find enough for a video to make on Bronny, that tells you something right there. So wait about an hour after today's game. Look up awful coaching on YouTube. If he does not make a Bronny video, which he loves to make because he gets a lot of clicks from it, that'll tell you all you need to know. But again, a great win for the Lakers, my friend. But when you saw Luka and Austin not in the lineup tonight, you thought, as we did several times last season and the season before that, the load management, it just seems like the teams are punting and just taking an L as a scheduled loss. This was supposed to be a scheduled loss for the Lakers today, but someone didn't tell Rui, Deandre Ayton, and Nick Smith Jr.
You're right, because I'm with you, Gerald. I'm not going to even cap it. I expected a loss. I was like, oh, they ain't playing well. All right, they're going to toss it up. There's going to be a loss and head on into San Antonio pretty much. But hey, I guess the others didn't get the message. They said not today. So you got to give a shout out to Rui and all of them. They stepped up big. Rui, Aiden, the kid Nick Smith, never heard of him until now. He showed up, and this could become a common thing for the Lakers right now. Hey, who this person? He come out here dropping 20.
Anthony Edwards said that. Who's number 12 with Jake LaRavia last week? This week is who's Nick Smith Jr.? Who is this guy? What's up with that, right? Legend?
Right now, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, gotta give him a round of applause right now because y'all GM did his thing. It looked like Rob played it on like he done a fabulous job. It looking good on the court. So I gotta give him
It's
props.
it is looking good. You know what? Some of us, including myself, might have to start. Well, it's 8 games in. We have to start eating some of our words if this continues because Deandre Ayton today, again, very low cost for all those guys. The Smarts, the Laravias, the Aidens, the Nick Smith, very low cost with a potential high return. You're always hoping that for that as a GM to hopefully fill out the roster with some of these guys that can produce for you. So it's interesting. It is interesting. You know, Dalton hasn't been well. Dalton's been Dalton. Even today, he's still. I don't know where that 3-point shooter's gone, but if you could go find it, if it, I think it's on a milk carton somewhere saying, "Please find me. I'm missing." Just let him know because he's getting all of his points inside the paint, which is good because if you can't make it from the outside, make it. But he is bread and butter throughout his entire life has been the outside, so you got to worry about that. But be that as it may, 8 points tonight. Bronny getting one of his career best games, 5 points and 6 assists, as noted there. But for the most part, these guys have not been able to help to the level. I've said repeatedly that having no bench at times, the Lakers statistically had one of the worst benches last season. This year, getting a very low cost Marcus Smart, a very low cost Jake LaRavia, a very low cost, relatively speaking, starting center Deandre Ayton, and an extremely low cost on a two-way Nick Smith Jr. Those guys were the key to your victory today. And it seems like it's no accident that if they can go ahead and continue to help out like this, even when the starters come back, even when LeBron comes back, if it helps this team get good, consistent play off the bench, then you know what? You got to start giving him, his props. However checkered his past may be.
Yeah, you're right. We're gonna have to give him props, and Gerald, same as you. I'm gonna have to come. They keep doing what they doing, and I'm gonna have to come up and say, hey, they proved me wrong. I did not expect this at all. This Lakers team is really showing. It was more to this team than maybe what we originally thought in this team. More than what we thought that we saw on paper and on the internet. This team is really showing a lot of heart to do what they do, and I'm about almost to the point. I'm like, man, maybe I see why they didn't stay in LeBron now. Maybe I see why now. Maybe I see what they say. We good. We don't need your service. We gonna be okay. You can go on to Cleveland or do what you do. But this team looks really good. This is a really. I think nobody in LA Nation right now can't say they're not shocked at how this team has played off so far. This is definitely a way more shocker than seeing Oklahoma being 7-0 right now. Like this is something that nobody saw coming. So everybody on this team, JJ, everybody deserves a lot of credit. They have done a phenomenal job.
It's funny because Ayton, Laravia, Smart, and Smith, as we've said before, coming into this season, Laravia to an extent, too, even though his is a 2-year guaranteed, he is still playing for a long-term contract and a future down the line. All those guys are playing for a long-term future. They are playing like their future in the NBA depends on it, especially Smith tonight. I mean, seeing that this is his opportunity to shine and he took advantage of it. I know a lot of people after tonight are asking for him. Why isn't he on a guaranteed contract? Guaranteed contract. Well, with the Lakers up against the cap, the second tax apron, it's going to be they're going to have to wait until if they want because they have a spot open. They have to wait until prorates down to a level where they can go ahead and slide him in there if they want to go ahead and do that, or they can move a contract at some point in time in the not too distant future if they want to do it sooner. But if that's the case, I wouldn't mind because obviously you see his scoring ability. Defensively, they found ways around having Bronny, having Dalton, and having Nick Smith out there, who all three have been, defensively challenged at times for what we're seeing. Um, Shakira. I do not think we'll be seeing Bronny at playoff time unless
Yeah.
it's really a dark time or a blowout. So let's slow down on that, please. But 6 assists for the Braun man, as No Joker put. He's very happy, and thank you again for the super chat. This is the kind of win. It just feels good because this is a win that everybody going in tough. So it said, why do I, before coming on to the game, why do I need to see it? Why? Maybe I'll take the night off too, just like they did, just like Austin and Luka did. He ended up coming on playback, so that's a devoted fan there for you. But it's so tough in today's load management to get wins like these when everybody's out. Portland, with almost all of their players, they're outside of Scoot Henderson again, Damian Lillard notwithstanding. It seems like they just let themselves down. I mean, last Monday when they played the Lakers shorthanded on a back-to-back, they capitalized on them gassing out in the third quarter. That did not happen today. I was saying, hey, look, the starters are in right now for Portland. At some point in time, the ways to the means has to come back to the mean at some point when you're playing your 11, 12, 13, 14 two-way guys against the starters for Portland. At some point in time, the starter, just the sheer talent has to take over. I'm as surprised as anyone that it didn't happen. I don't know if that's more the fault of the Portland Trailblazers or more to the benefit of what was done with J.J. Redick and the Los Angeles Lakers. So I'll meet it halfway, but I will give a lot of praise and flowers for the Lakers for playing with heart today and getting the win, Legend.
I agree. I gotta give them a lot of credit for playing for heart because they could have easily just mailed it in to say, we ain't got our 3 main guys. You know what? Just forget it. Let's just play this game, lose it, head back home, and get ready for Wemby and the Spurs. But I give them credit; they came out here and played with heart and was like, no, we're not gonna mail it in. We're gonna try to win this game, and they did. You got to give a lot of credit to these boys for having that heart, and a lot of these younger boys stepping up. You had I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 guys with like 20 plus points. That's pretty good coming off the bench.
Yeah,
that's really good. Like you got to give a lot of props.
And just put a button on the Bronny stuff, Legend. 2 games in a row where he doesn't hurt you. I call that a positive. Yesterday, he was a +1. Mind you, it's a +1. People are like, why are you freaking out? Plus, it's a positive. Yeah. He was on the court when something positive happened, and he was a part of it. And today, the same thing. Excellent passing from him today. No one can deny that. He got his opportunities, and for the most part, he made the most of them. So again, having Bronny out there tonight for the second night in a row was a positive, and I think that's a good step forward as a confidence builder for the young man. I know Joe doesn't want to hear it, but the truth is what it is, and you hope that this will build and lay the foundation for hopefully something more meaningful down the road.
You're right. This is a good confidence booster for him, and like you said, you gotta give Bronny props. I mean, for once, he's not involved in anything being negative, because that's what we used to see when it comes to Bronny. You're either out there in garbage time, or if you're out there, you're turning the ball over or getting scored on, one or the other. But the last 2 games have been good things, good signs, and that's good for someone at his age, as well as somebody who is, probably got a lot of pressure on him, trying to follow dad and all that. So it's a good confidence booster for him wise to be able to go out there and say, hey, 2 games I went out here and did decent. Let me see, can I do it again? So gotta give Bronny props too. Gotta give him props. I know a lot of people probably don't want to, but I gotta give it to him. He don't show it up the last 2 games.
Again, it wasn't a plus minus. He was at a 0. Wasn't a negative. I'll take it. I will take it. I will take it indeed. But the big winner off the bench, again, Legend, I say this, and I've said this before. Again, the Lakers had one of the worst benches in the league last year. And I said coming into the season, they need more productivity from the bench. Last night, they got it with Laravia coming off the bench for 20-plus points. Tonight, I don't think anyone had on their bingo card that Nick Smith Jr. would do the same thing, but he did. But when the bench comes up with 38 points, That is substantially more than what they were doing on average last year, and that is a big help, especially when your players like Luka, like LeBron, like AR are not in the lineup.
And them the type of guys you need to step up when your main three are not playing. You need them guys that nobody expect to step up. They end up stepping up, and that's what Nick Smith Jr. did today. He had a heck of a performance. Like I said, I ain't never heard of Nick Smith until tonight in Portland. I get the feeling Portland probably asking each other too, like, who is that? You guys ever heard of Nick Smith? Okay, hey, he can shoot. We gonna do this, and this. He can shoot. I get the feeling Portland wasn't ready for that either, and that's pretty good. I would love to know Rob, please. How you found Nick Smith? You actually been doing your job pretty good so far, finding hidden gems all over the place. So that's pretty good.
Best League is asking Gerald. I have a question. Could we give $1.1 million to a player after the trade deadline, or he must be a buyout player to get less than $1.1 million? For instance, Nick Smith's situation. As a two-way player, I forget, was it 40, 45, 42? I don't know. I forget how many games that they're allowed to play at the NBA level as a two-way player. But it's something in that range, Legend, where it's not the entire season. It's just around half of the season that you're allowed to play. With Nick Smith, okay, the Lakers have 14 guaranteed contracts on the roster. They have one spot open right now, and then you have the two-way players. What you could do as each game goes by, remember, that's a period of money that's coming off the books for what you could potentially sign. You can't, let's say a player like Nick Smith Jr. after the trade deadline is still on a two-way contract. Whatever you sign him for is going to be a prorated to whatever the veteran's minimum or a minimum of his years of service in the league would normally be. So it'll be prorated off that. So let's just say he had signed in September for a $3 million contract, Legend. Let's just say that's what his veteran minimum would be normally if he'd signed in a 1 year guaranteed contract in September. He didn't. So he's on a two-way. What he would be doing if the Lakers could sign him to a guaranteed contract to make him playoff eligible is you wait after the trade deadline. You wait as close as you can to the end of the season until you get in that window, because the Lakers are so close to the tax at 1.1 million away from the second tax bracket, according to what Best League said. So you wait until it prorates, until it gets under that 1.1 million. Then you can sign him for the rest of the season and make him eligible for the playoffs. If you've made no other moves, if the Lakers made no other trades or transactions or anything like that, that's what could happen best. They could sign him to a guaranteed contract, but they have to wait until it prorates, until you get a level where it's prorated enough till it falls under that threshold, so you won't go over the second tax apron, Legend. I hope I explained that fairly enough.
Yeah, that's playing pretty good to me. I hope everybody in chat got it as well. But he will be a really good pickup just off of what we saw. Knowing the Lakers, they're gonna probably continue to let him play in a lot of games just to see how he does throughout the rest of the season, which I think that'll be a good idea. I would just try him all the way up towards maybe February or so and see how he look towards the end of the season. But definitely that one game, he looks like he'd be a good pickup. But let him play a couple more games to really see what he can do. That's when you're really able to tell what you got out of him wise. I say about game 10 or more, you'll pretty much begin to have an idea of what he can and can't do. But overall, he delivered today. He delivered. He was balling. He did what you needed from him. Hey, all them points, they add up and they lead to a win. So, I mean, LeBron should be at home smiling right now. They say he was going to be watching the team while he was out, so he can't really complain right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree with you on that, Legend. Let's put it this way. He's played 111 games in his first two seasons. So 51 and 60 in his first two seasons. So whatever that is, whatever contract, minimum contract, veterans, I don't know if you would even call that a veterans, but I guess you could, because he's played years in the league, because it's not a rookie contract, that's for sure. So let's just say it's a veterans minimum for how many years of service he has played or how many games of service he has played. The Lakers know what magical number they need to get under the threshold. So they will try to space his games out. My guess is if they can. Now, if injuries, illness, other stuff happens where you have a lot of players out, they're going to have to play his games a little bit sooner. But they're going to try and be smart about it. Yeah, with like Legend, with your Golden State Warriors and also Atlanta Hawks, they have two-way spots as well. You have to learn to manage those during the course of the season. And then if any one of them look like they're going to stick and you don't have the cap space right away, you have to wait until you get cute and fine with the salary cap if you want to make them eligible for the playoffs, Legend.
You're right. You just got to do some maneuvering if you find something like a hidden piece that you want to keep in the long run. And if Nick Smith continue to do what he's doing, he's gonna end up finding his way on this team for the rest of the season. So we'll see exactly how things play out and how Rob Plinka end up playing out. But man, if I'm them, I would definitely try to find a way to possibly keep him. Watch a couple more games though. I don't like to go off of one big game. See a couple more games and see what he do. But after that, I will try to sign him if possible, because this is part of the formula. You want to go younger, and that's exactly what you're doing by keeping a young person like Nick Smith. We like about what, 25, 24? He look pretty young.
He is 21.
21. Oh wow, no, that's a real good pickup right there. 21 doing that, not bad. Not bad at all.
Absolutely. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing if he can develop the Lakers again. A great scorer he is. If he can continue his consistency on his shot and play even acceptable defense, I'll tell you what, it looks like it's going to be something that maybe that got a keeper on their hands, but we'll wait and see. But once again, the Lakers do get the big victory tonight. Surprise on the road in Portland, 123-115. The Lakers moved to 6-2. I wanted to ask you this question. Stefan threw out there for us. How many games do the Lakers win in a hypothetical situation without LeBron and with this team for the whole season? Let's just put it in this context. Let's say LeBron is coming back late November, late this month. I mean, rumors have him possibly as early as mid-November. I don't see that. I'm just going to say, I'm just going to say December. Let's say December 1st is the tagline. And that's for the Lakers. That's what, 22, 23 games in, I think, for the rest of this month. Your thoughts, my friend, on what they would be ending up like before he comes back on, in your opinion?
I would definitely say, I think if you're going by the end of December, I haven't seen the rest of y'all's schedule. I think a toughie game coming up will probably Oklahoma, it looks like. Next Wednesday, probably a toughest one coming up. I think the Lakers team can win. How many games you guys got the rest of this month?
Let's say 15. I can actually look it up here in a second. But let's just say he hits 23 games before LeBron comes back. Let's just say let's call it 23 games. Yeah, let's call it that.
I could definitely see this team winning at least up about 15, 16 games without him.
That's what I thought too, which would be great. That would be right in the thick of the Western Conference standings. Probably put them around second, third, or fourth. Not second. I'd probably say third or fourth in the Western Conference standings, which again, before you're getting your second, well, I don't know if you can call him your second scorer anymore with LeBron now that AR is playing so well, but you're one of your top scorers. You're one of your top players, even at 41. It still is a great achievement if they could be at that level. But yeah, I'm really happy to see what they're doing. Big shout out to you guys in the chat. Tough, CJ Calvin, Kubro. May the force be with you, my friend. Xbox, Stefan. Great to have you here. The Lakers with a big victory again. Best league. Always great to have you here, my friend. I know I'm hard on you sometimes, but it's all because of love, my friend. Just much love to you, my friend. Legend. Again, I don't want to make too much of this great start and put too much into it. It is only 10% of the season when it comes right down to it that we played so far, 10%. But I want to say that getting off to a good start does help you. You had a team, Legend, Golden State last year, that got off to a great start last year. Got the De'Anthony Melton injury, kind of went down to the dumps, kind of meandered for a little while, and then the Butler trade really got you back into things. Your thoughts on, my friend, on what a good start means to you in the league?
It means a lot. It helps give you some cushion when things go wrong in like December or January. It helps out a lot. So if you were to start losing some key games in them couple of months, that's when them games that you won early on in like October and November, that helps put a cushion to them losses. So to me, it's important to try to capitalize on many games as possible because it's a long season. Anything can happen, and them wins could really end up being a key deciding factor when the Western Conference can be so bundled up between 2 to 7 to 8 and all. So them few little wins that people may think, oh, it don't mean nothing, could mean making a big difference. Could be the deciding factor the way you landed. So it helps out a lot. Cause I saw that from one of the Warriors last year. That hot start helped tremendously to keep us in the playoff picture when we was going through some struggles. So it pays off in the long run.
Oh, that's good to hear, my friend. Young Lido, come on. Do we have to start the name calling already? Please, come on. Let's. He's just back. He's been out for a few days. He went over and spent some time with the fam. Good spirits. Got to see, as he called it, the best, and I will call it too, the best World Series ever. What Tough I think mentioned, or was it Div? I think Div. One of those guys mentioned Bill Simmons, Boston lover. He said it's the greatest World Series of all time. Don't take it for our word for it. Take it from him. Just a tremendous World Series, tremendous performance. And he's here basking in the glow of it. He just got off his channel, the Joe Soro Experiment. It is Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here. You and I haven't spoken live since then, but my heartfelt congratulations as a longtime Dodgers fan. You know, the season has had its ups and downs. Before you want to get into today's game and all the great things from it, your thoughts and that you encapsulated that people need to check out in full on your channel about the LA Dodgers.
This was the first season I didn't miss a game. I'd never done that in baseball. And even if they hadn't won it, I talked to Jeff about this, I think it was a couple weeks ago. I said, I'm very proud of this team. There's a difference. There was a difference this year, even with some of the crappy stuff that they did. I just kind of realized the last 3 weeks before the World Series started where I was like, these guys got something, man. They just got something that I hadn't seen. Even though they had won last year, I had this feeling like, well, sometimes you can get on a little run in baseball and then that's it. That's usually how it plays out. That's why repeat champions are so rare. And then I saw something. I saw something in the Philly series. I saw how they, choked Milwaukee. They just choked the hell out of them.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Legend.
Oh, anytime, Gerald.
You got it, my friend.
Later, Legend.
See you soon. I see you, Joe.
And I hadn't seen that before from them. I was used to seeing Laker teams do that. The Kobe teams, the Shaq and Kobe teams. Saw a little bit of a glimpse with the LeBron and AD at his heights teams. I saw the Steelers almost kill people. I thought Willis McGahee died in the 2008-2009 AFC Championship game after Ryan Clark hit him on a post in the middle of the field, right? That's how my brain works in terms of dominance. It's absolutely destroying a team's will, destroying a fan base's or an opponent's fan base's will, because that plays a part, right? Philly was one of the loudest stadiums in baseball, and I heard very little noise in Philly. Those 2 games are in Philly, and they never went back. Right? Milwaukee, maybe not the loudest stadium, but those guys kind of had what Toronto had, where they thought they had won something, and the Dodgers pounced them. And then in the end, in the World Series, they showed Toronto fans that they hadn't won shit either. And Those are the type of wins in this kind of environment, with the stakes being what they are and the accomplishments that they already had. When you can outdo what you've already done at its highest level, to me, that's when greatness now is bestowed on you. Greatness is still good if you win one, but when you win two, that means it really wasn't not luck, but it wasn't one of those times where everything kind of went right for you. Everything was going wrong for the Dodgers, everything, and they still got through it. And not only that, they're the repeat champions in a league that is virtually impossible to repeat. And it's gotten harder because now you have 18 teams making, I'm exaggerating, the playoffs. You have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds now, like the NBA. When back in the day, the first 70 years of baseball, you won the pennant and then went in the World Series. Then they made it championship series. And then you went to the World Series. And then it became wild card series. Then you went to the NLC, the championship series. Then you went to, like, the stakes have gotten higher. So I had Yankee fans who are butthurt for some weird reason about the Dodgers. They were cheering for the Toronto Blue Jays. Didn't Toronto like whoop the shit out of them all year? Like, why are you cheering for the Blue Jays? It's not like the Dodgers are going to catch up to your championships, right? The championships
We
they
had
won.
trolls on this channel.
Yeah, like what you guys won your champion. You guys won 25 of your championships, your 27 in the previous century. So go watch TV on the past. The 21st century is going to belong to the LA Dodgers. And I had said this on the show, on my show just now. I'm not going to make it to the next century, but with the ownership that's involved, with what they're doing in the next 8 years during the Shohei Ohtani era, there's a very good chance they could get to that point where they're halfway there by the time the early 30s are finished. So they still have another 60 plus years to be the Yankees of the 21st century, which is something that I have kind of already said they're going to be. So props to everyone from top to bottom. Mark Walter was at the Laker game yesterday, less than 24 hours after he had won a championship. That right there got me excited. And I'm going to segue into what I saw yesterday and today. Remember we talked about identity, Gerald? Yes. What's this team's identity? Well, folks, you're starting to see it. We talked about this, and we talked about it. I was pretty pissed off today that Luka not playing a little bit because he does have a problem. But I'm like, why the hell is Reaves not playing? What the hell is going on here?
Supposedly, he hurt his groin early in the game yesterday. Funny how he was laughing it up at the end of the game with Luka. And, Joe, we talked about this before for years, especially remember the Milwaukee game last year, how pissed off we were that the Lakers were just punting and just taking a scheduled L. And we went on the air and how ranted about how you don't let these games go. I felt like that, coming into the game today, Joe.
Right. That's how we felt coming into the game. Now, the results, we preach results. We preach results. And I've used Greg Popovich's management of his team in a positive and negative way in a lot of ways back in the day, right? But he had a different setup. He had old guys on his team. Matter of fact, he even put that on the injury list, old, as a joke. And they actually wrote it down and left it there. This team is not old. This team is young. So why are guys like Luka and Austin Reaves sitting, right? However, watching the game today, there were ebbs and flows during the game. There was times where Portland was up double digits. And us being Laker fans going, Portland, it's Portland, whatever. But I started noticing as soon as Portland tried to kind of get out, the Lakers would pull them back in. It would be an 11-point game, and then all of a sudden it went down to 6. Then it go down to 4. Then they tie it up. Then they go up 1. Then they go up 2. And they kind of went a little bit back and forth here and there until finally at the end, when it mattered most, they found a two-way player that looked like he's been playing the NBA for years. Nick Smith Jr.
2 years to be exact.
Well, I mean, 2 years is years.
But I know what you meant. You meant a lot of years.
Right. Now, so you have a guy that had no business doing what he did tonight, apparently, but 2 years is not that long. Maybe he's coming into his own now, right? Drops 25 on the road. Deandre Ayton, even with foul trouble, drops 29, gets 10 rebounds, and was absolutely as effective as you can be near the rim, which is everything we need him to be. Rui plays Rui ball, hit 10 out of 15 from the field, and then LaRavia was creating, hitting timely shots, getting rebounds. Dalton Connect threw a couple of things in there at mid-range, and even Bronny James did some things today. I noticed towards the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth, he started playing with some confidence. Holy shit. What a nice concept there, Bronny. Play. I don't know if JJ on the bench said stop pussyfooting around or stop doing this. Get your ass, but just play. Well, this was the best Bronny I've seen so far. I don't know what it's going to mean, but if you're going to have to play this guy, try to convince him to play his ass off and stop worrying about getting his block shot. Stop playing like Vando, basically. And he did. He did for the remaining part of the end of the third and the fourth. And those timely shots, my God. I was watching the last 5 minutes of the game while I was doing my show, and I obviously couldn't get excited because I was trying to pay attention. I was trying to focus on what I was saying. But as soon as I kept seeing those things drop from three, seeing Nick Smith doing what he was doing, I'm like, dude, they're going to win this game. Holy shit, I can't wait to get on the LFP. So you talked about my weekend, Gerald. I saw my team win a championship for the second time in as many years on Saturday. Oh, I can't discard Friday either. Friday was Halloween. Had a great time. Had some of the best street tacos I've ever had in my life at a Halloween party in Arizona. Watched the Dodgers close out Game 6 in a way that only a legendary play can create, right? That's that play by Kike and Rojas is going to go into the books forever for all times, right? In any sport. So the Dodgers win Game 6.
Don't forget you got the real MVP of Game 6, the where it wedged.
The wedge.
The wedge.
Yeah, the wedge.
The wedge, as it will call.
The wedge, yes. So the Dodgers win Game 6. The Dodgers win 7 on Saturday. The Steelers beat the number 1 seed in the AFC on Sunday. The Lakers win on Sunday. And then the Lakers win at the back end of a back-to-back in Portland. I got to check the stats on that, G. When was the last time the Lakers beat Portland in Portland on the back end of a back-to-back?
It's been a while.
That has to have been a while. Maybe like 2020 when COVID was going on, probably something like that, right?
The Rose Garden, you and I both know the Rose Garden has not always been friendly to the Lakers.
Well, if there's one huge positive that never has been a negative since LeBron has been a Laker, for some reason,
whatever it's called now.
For some reason, since LeBron has been a Laker, the Lakers have not been losing in Portland a lot. So he has that to be able to hang on his mantle. I don't know what it is, even if he's not playing. Lakers seem to be pretty fortunate in Portland. Maybe their mystique is going away. I don't know. But it has been an amazing 4 days of sports in my life. And the fact that the Lakers look like they're starting to build an identity. I mean, Marcus Smart coming out the gate. Did you see how well he was playing right out the gate? Like I'm like, I was going nuts at home. I was like, dude, Marcus Smart looks like he is rocking and rolling, man. This is what it's going to be. LaRavia's getting under. You could see he's getting better. You could see he's positioning himself really well. When he has an open shot, he makes it. on a regular basis. Connect is slowly connecting back into what he was before the trade. And now you have Nick Smith Jr. coming out of nowhere who's going to give him depth. Now you have to worry about, is Gabe Vincent going to be available? I mean, guys, seeing Mark Walter there was like, I feel like when guys like that are that good are around, everything around you starts to get better. And it's happening. And I am so happy right now. I'm so happy everywhere.
Yes, cool, bro. Austin Reaves has already had a 40-point plus game this season. Yes, that's why he was averaging 31 on the season.
Oh yeah, I had a crab and shrimp boil Sunday night as well.
There you go.
Sucks
to be Joe this past weekend.
watch Seattle make Washington look like a 1AA football team.
Yeah, and I coached the dumb maneuver keeping Daniels out there so he could dislocate his elbow. What a dumb move, but it is what it is. JSJ, yes, after a performance like tonight, he does deserve a look as far as they're concerned, but they have to wait. For now, they have him on a 2-way contract. They can let those 40 games or so, fill up, and then if the time is right, and the Lakers haven't made any other moves, and it's prorated to where they can sign him, they'll sign him for the rest of the season. I mean, he's going to be on the Lakers roster at some point in time. I think after tonight, Joe, you will see Nick Smith Jr. probably signed as security for later this season at some point. When it's financially viable to do so, they'll sign him to a guaranteed contract, so at least he'll be playoff eligible. But speaking of that, Joe, like I talked about with Legend, we're 10% into the season already. Your thoughts, 10%, 6-2 is above my expectations, seeing how Luka's been out for 3 of those games. Or is it 4? Anyways, 4 of those games, actually. Austin has been out. They've been done so much with whatever limited assets they've had and still have a 6-2 record. I think that's pretty impressive. I am going to throw flowers at JJ Ford, and I'm going to throw flowers at, whoever I need to as far as is concerned, is because they're playing well and they're playing above a lot of people's expectations.
They're 4-0 on the road.
Yes.
That says a lot. That says a lot. And I don't even know. I was in shock seeing what I was seeing in the fourth quarter when I probably shouldn't have. I saw enough in the first 3 quarters. I was like, these guys are not going to really go away. I kind of sort of was expecting Portland to maybe step on the gas. They were making a lot of shots. They were kind of getting lucky with all these stupid calls. They were missing a lot of free throws. But at some point, I was thinking, at some point the Lakers might hit a dead spot because of the lack of talent. But then all of a sudden, I'm watching Nick Smith Jr. look like Austin Reaves. I'm like, all right, hey, you want to sit Austin Reaves on the back end of back-to-back? You want to throw in Nick Smith Jr. in there to drop 25? Results, baby. I happily deal with whatever you guys want to do as long as the results are there. And that's just how I feel about it. They are building an identity. The identity now is we have a system now where we're going to run it down your throat.
Cool, bro. Yes. Austin has a 50-point game and a 40-point game. Luka has 3 40-point games.
Why are you addressing Cool Bro right now?
Because Cool Bro doesn't check out the entire games. I have to.
Can you just ignore that kid?
Well, at least that's the nicest thing you've probably said about him in a long time. The fact you actually had a civil conversation with him on playback.
I told you, I don't play with kiddies.
Well, you were answering his questions actually in a relatively.
Yeah, and I stopped because I realized I'm a grown-ass adult and I'm talking to a child.
He's not. I think he's almost 18.
He's a child.
All right. Oh, well, that's.
Wait, hold on. What's Nibble saying? Joe,
Nibble from South Africa.
Okay, Joe, we need some JJ credit for these wins. Okay, JJ credit The credit is not yet. It's not yet unlimited. We have to let this play out a little bit. But he's on the right path right now. Winning on the road, creating identity. Yeah, he's climbing there.
JY says, do the Lakers now have two legitimate big men in Hayes and Ayton? Not if Hayes is going to be out for a while because he did turn his ankle during today's game. I don't know if you saw that.
When you say legitimate big, Jackson Hayes is a legitimate big, but a backup. The minutes eater during the regular season. Where he won't likely be of value is in the playoffs. Where Deandre Ayton will be of value is in the playoffs. Because guys like Luka, guys like Austin, guys like Rui, they've kind of been there already, right? Now I know Ayton's been there, but he hasn't been in a Laker uniform there. Pressure's a little less in Phoenix. Obviously, he didn't have a lot of pressure in Portland because they didn't do anything. But there's a positiveness here where things will likely go correct should everybody stay healthy by the end of the year. And things could get interesting. Absolutely. I don't know why people are calling LaRavia ravioli.
They love that now. They were just going to let it roll because I think LaRavia, like Tuff said,
I like the name LaRavia. I like saying LaRavia.
Tuff said he has a hard time with LaRavia, so he's going to go stick with ravioli. We know what you guys mean. Ravioli is good. If you guys want to call it ravioli, that's fine.
Yeah, Ayton. I really wasn't concerned about Ayton, really, because he has a lot of reasons to not be what he's been in Portland, and then at the end of when he was in Phoenix.
But you can see even with the season, Joe, it comes and goes with him. Motivation comes and goes sometimes, even during a game. But today, obviously, playing Portland, him being the main guy with Luka and AR out, I think there was a little bit of revenge in mind in today's fashion after what happened in Portland.
That's JJ Redick's job to maybe keep him motivated, even if he's playing a team like New Orleans or Charlotte. Hey, look, you got Miles Turner got $100 million contract for sucking ass in the playoffs. The longer the rounds went, right? And he got $100 million contract. So I'd be telling Ayton, hey man, go ahead and play your ass off. You have a $100 million contract coming, probably $125 million contract. At least that's what I would do. But there's this aura that's building, and I'm taking a guess here that Mark Walter now who's officially the majority owner of the Lakers. It's looking like he may have made the decision to extend JJ Redick. And while I wasn't a big fan of JJ Redick this summer because of some of the comments that he made, and his personality kind of rubs off a certain way that I don't like, but sometimes you don't like certain people, but if they bring the results, you deal with it. The part that I did give a little bit of credit here is I think the Lakers are tired of changing coaches every 2 years, and it's been like that for 6 seasons. So I get that part, the continuity, and this guy's young, and this guy can get better, and he has some good ideas. I think the LeBron thing is going to help a little bit more too when he's not here at the end of the year, or maybe he will be at the end of the year if they win it all. So in a weird way, I want LeBron to come back because that would mean they won it all. Winning cures all ills, right? And the way they're playing, if you're not going to give them credit for playing the way they've been playing with the tools that they've been playing with in certain games on the road to boot, then you're not really about being a winner with this thing. You're about being angry at being right. I don't care about being right. I do not give two shits about being right. I want my team to be right. And if I see something I don't like, I'm going to comment on it. And if it ends up getting fixed, good. If it doesn't get fixed, not good. If I get proven wrong, good. I want to be proven wrong about everything when it comes to the Lakers from the beginning, because that would mean they're going to win games. and bring another championship to LA. How about that? Could you imagine if the Dodgers win back-to-back and then the Lakers win a championship 7 months later? How many of these crying, whining biznatches are going to be around whining about these billionaires? Sit and spin. We're winners here, and that's how we do it.
Cool, bro. Anyways, I put the statement down there. Yeah, again, a great start by the Lakers, but before we start putting the cart in front of the horse, again, remember, 10% of the regular season's done. We still got 90% of the season regular season to go, plus the playoffs. And remember, the playoffs are about matchups, and regular season is different from the playoffs. As we saw, the Lakers finished third in the West. We all thought they were going to go on a run, or many of us thought they were going to go on a run, and that stopped real quickly because of matchups against a team that was ranked lower than we were. Now, mind you, they were only separated by a game or 2 games at best, but still, we have to put things in perspective. OKC is still at the top of the West right now, undefeated. Denver is still very strong right now and just trying to feel themselves out and feel their new additions to their roster out. Houston is finally, after getting off to a slow start, is getting back into the rhythm of things. They're the highest scoring offense right now in the NBA. So there are a lot of challengers right now that can contend with the Lakers in the Western Conference. But the fact is, we have a team that's gotten off to a great start. Like 805 said, a much better start than I think anyone would have planned, even with all the injuries in mind, Joe.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting 4-0 on the road the first 3 weeks in the season. Is it 3 weeks?
Yeah.
It's almost 3 weeks.
Remember, the Lakers played.
So they got San Antonio on Wednesday. Then they have a 2-day break before they go on the road for 5 games. And they're playing all over. It almost looks like a road trip in baseball. They're playing in Atlanta, Charlotte, then going to Oklahoma City, then New Orleans, then Milwaukee. And then they come home real quick to play Utah, and then they got to go play Utah 3 days later in Utah. So what they've done is they've set themselves up to deal with possible heartbreak losses in that road trip. So let's say they beat San Antonio on Wednesday. It's a home game, right? Let's say they win that game. They're going to have 5 road games: Atlanta, Charlotte, Oklahoma City, New Orleans, and Milwaukee. Let's say they win 3 out of those 5. Because they went, let's say 7-2, if they win Wednesday, it cushions a little bit of those losses, because we expected them to lose to Portland. We thought they were going to lose to Minnesota and Minnesota. We thought even they might lose to Memphis. And they've won all 3 of those games. So now if you lose 2 games on the road during that time, you're almost 1 up. Because then you have a nice little stretch where you're at home. You play the Clippers at home, Dallas, New Orleans, Phoenix. You're basically at home for a week before you go on the next crazy road trip. And this could be a good thing that they're getting these crazy road trips in the East Coast done early. You're at your freshest now, right? Because now the second one after that is Toronto, Boston, basically the Northeast. And then they come back to Utah, play the Clippers, and then they play Phoenix. So let's say they win 4 out of those 2. So in the 11 road games that they're going to be playing between November 8th and right before Christmas, if you can go 7-4 in those road trips, you are setting yourself up now to probably be in a top 3 seed. And Luka, if he continues to play the way he's playing, there may be a discussion where it's probably going to be Jokic, him, SGA, and Wemby fighting for that MVP for sure now. And they're going to probably base it off the seeding. Who's going to be ahead of the other one, right? Although Luka right now is, video game numbers are an understatement. If Luka ends up averaging 33, 10, and 10. And he's a top 3 seed. I don't know how the hell they're not going to give him the MVP. I'm sorry.
It's so funny, Joe.
Yeah, I
It's
just
so
don't
funny
see
'cause
how.
I don't know if you heard my comment during playback. I said, Bronny James had probably his best game, maybe as ever in the NBA. 5 points, 6 assists today. Plus or minus was 0, which is still positive. He didn't kill you out there. But it's so funny. I said, if there's no video made tonight by awful coaching, Joe, on Bronny James, then I think he's done a good job. We'll see what happens. But it's so funny because if you go to awful coaching, Joe, and you look right now, one where he calls and does a breakdown of Luka Doncic's game, and as an MVP, this is what an MVP does, and praises him. 92,000 views. When he's calling out Bronny like he did last night, he's got a 200,000. He's got 170,000. He even the one he did 20 hours ago, 44,000 views. It's crazy. It's crazy, Joe. It's just absolutely crazy.
People gravitate towards negativity before they gravitate to positivity.
It's so funny how that is, but we'll see if that's the case because it's a problem. But tonight and yesterday, despite what awful coaching says, he didn't kill them. That's all you want when
played
you want a
different.
guy like Brody. Yeah,
he played. You
just
could
don't want him
see
to
it.
kill you.
He stopped playing scared. He stopped sitting in the corner like Baby and Dirty Dancing. He actually started doing stuff. That 3 he hit was a little bit of like a run stopper. I wasn't really a run. It was more of Portland was starting to get a little bit of momentum their way, and he shit on it. That was the first shot that he's made where I'm like, oh, man, we needed that.
It's so funny because now that he and Jackson Hayes now have more threes on the season than Jared Vanderbilt, there's a running thing on Twitter. Vando can't get a break. Oh, poor guy. But again, big win for the Lakers, 123-115. They hopefully will take this momentum back to the Crypto.com arena on Wednesday against the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama comes into town. They lost over the weekend. And they also lost their excellent rookie, Dylan Harper. I really thought that kid right now was the front runner or one of the front runners for the rookie of the year, but he's going to be out several weeks with a calf strain. Your thoughts on what the Lakers need to do on Wednesday to get the victory or to defend a guy that against like Wembanyama? I mean, somehow they found he was mortal in his last game, Joe. Will he be mortal again against the Lakers?
In a shooting league, it's a little easier to maybe go away from him. And that's probably what they're going to have to do. He can't block Luka's shot from the perimeter. He could, but then you'd be drawing him out, and that's a good thing. So you gotta play him like you play most stars. Let him kind of get his. And like Ed Reed, when he was in his prime, try not to throw in his area. Try not to go in his area. And it's less likely you have to deal with it. And that's a fact. I'm not scared of anyone else on that team. And that's something that's going to probably happen this year, guys, especially in the playoffs. As soon as Wemby started going nuts here at the beginning of the year, which was bound to happen at some point, that's great. But at the same time, they're going to have to the teams around him is going to have to make others pay. And they have the talent. They have Castle, and they have the right guys in terms of building that. It's just a matter of will they be able to? That's really it. And rookies like Dylan Harper, usually they're not difference makers the first few years, especially as a rookie. It's rare. You'd almost have to be a ready-made team. But I think they might be a year away, maybe a year away. So it'd be nice if the Lakers can put something together this year and win one to get ahead of it a little bit. But we'll see.
We'll see. Tough. I did have a conversation with Caleb Ponce on tomorrow's NBA observations for everybody else. Right now, it's available for members. If you want to hear my discussion after the show, it's right there available for you as members, but I will release it to everyone else. We do talk about the Spurs as far as DeAndre Fox, coming in, or as far as DeAnthony Fox, sorry. And then also what happens with Castle and that whole deal with Harper as well. Again, Castle and Harper look like they're the future of the San Antonio Spurs backcourt. And like we go in discussion on that as well. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. NBA observations here after the show if you're a member, or wait till tomorrow if you're everybody else. But it's a good show and a good conversation I have with him. But no, Joker, thank you so much. Rest well, my friend. Appreciate the super chats, including the one you just dropped for us. Who is that number 20, Joe? Nick Smith Jr. Tonight, again, the low cost, high return Lakers that, you got to give Rob Lowe, aka Rob Pelinka, some credit. They looked good tonight, the acquisitions that he made.
He looks like a guy that really wants to play in the NBA. Talk about confidence. Man, if you needed a visual on what confidence is, just play Nick Smith Jr. the last 5 minutes of this game. And this is even after he was already playing well, but he turned it up a notch. While I was doing the show, I was doing a lot of this, and every time I turned, it seemed like he was hitting a clutch shot. I was like, dude. And it didn't look like, lucky go me, I'm having my zone moment. He looked like he'd been doing it for years. And man, does this team need that with some of the botches that they've done in the draft? Boy, if they can find another needle in a haystack, woo.
The kid's only 21, Joe.
Oh my God. It has been as good of a 4 days of sports as it could be. Not just because of the winning, it's because it's the winning and knowing that there's something else that's going to continue. That's great. That's a great feeling to have as a sports fan.
Absolutely. You weren't tempted to go to the parade today?
No. I've been to 2 Laker parades. And I know it's different. I know that the Dodgers ones seem to be a little bit more less hectic. It's the kind of only word I could think of. I don't like being around a crowd like that in general. I going to a ball game is a little different to me. It's when I get there, I'm parking and then I'm going into a stadium. I'm not really around a bunch of people walking around and doing that kind of stuff. I'm sure down the road, maybe I might go to another one somewhere if the Lakers win, if the Dodgers win again, whatever. But it's not something I think about. I've been there, done that. And the last one I went to was the 2002 championship, Laker one. And I saw grown adults act like complete and utter orangutans that were on meth, throwing bottles in the air with kids around, smoking weed. Lawrence Tanter got on the PA and yelled at people, "Stop throwing bottles." Imagine that. Hearing Lawrence Tanter yelling at people with his voice. I'm like, this isn't my area. This isn't I didn't come to this thing to have a bunch of grown adults act like a bunch of freaking crazy monkeys.
Well, with that, though, congratulations go out to the Dodgers. It was just so cool to see Mark Walter. Okay, he's accepting the World Series trophy on Saturday and takes the private jet.
And that was, I mean, the feeling. Look, we talk about instinct. So to kind of correlate this with what happened during these 6 and 7 games, right? We talked about Dave Roberts finally getting out of what was his main weakness, which was not doing things when he should, right? It started last year when he bunted against the Padres. You don't bunt when you're using analytics. You don't do that. When I saw that, I was like, and they scored both times he did it in the playoffs. And I was texting Jeff. I'm like, Jeff, he started laughing. I go, what did I say? Analytics are nice. Preparation is nice. Scouting is nice. I get it. But sometimes you got to go with your instincts. You're in this every day. You're seeing these people every day. Putting in Rojas in 6 and 7 changed history. Putting in Pajes 5 minutes before that pop-up that he caught running over Kike Hernandez at the warning track. That happened literally 5 minutes before that play happened. 5 minutes. Might have been less. And you can say, oh, it's luck. Oh, good timing. No. You start to develop an instinct for stuff. And those are the things that happen. Because you can't say it was luck. How does 3 plays like that happen? 4 plays like that happen? Rojas throwing out the guy at home. Rojas hitting a home run. Rojas catching the double play in Game 6 with Kike throwing it to him. Like, it was Pajes catching the fly ball. It was like every other play was like the right call. That's not luck. That's instinct, being prepared, and going with what is going to work with those instincts.
But the wedge was kind of a lucky thing.
The wedge? Yeah, the wedge is luck. Yeah. Yeah, that's luck.
But everything else,
who's to say
everything else,
they would have scored a run and it would have been 3-2? Who's to say they would have scored the third run? You don't know that, considering that they had a man on second and third with no outs and they still didn't score a damn run. The Toronto Blue Jays made a habit of coming up short in all of those situations almost every single time in a 7-game series. So I'm not going to sit here and say if that wedge thing didn't happen, they wouldn't be in this position. And then also that same game, Roki had Guerrero strike 3 and ended up getting jacked up. He had to pitch even more. So things evened out in the end. Things always seem to even out, at least evened out in this series.
SB, if the owner is there and wants to be in front of camera, he's the one that's always accepting it first, is the owner of the team.
So the owner accepts it, Mark Walter. Stan Casson is the president and CEO. Then you saw at the parade, then you saw Andrew Friedman, who's the player personnel, and then you saw Brandon Gomes, who's the general manager. And then you started seeing the players and this, and that.
Andy Pajes is 6-1. Tough to answer your question. But yeah, it's a great victory for the Dodgers. Again, the best World Series I've ever seen. That Game 7 was probably the most epic Game 7 I've ever seen. The 18-inning game before that. Again, the fight by the Blue Jays. I said it on this show. The Blue Jays, they played baseball the way it used to be played. They hit for average. They got people on base. They got runs in. They hit for a much higher average than the Dodgers. Their starting pitchers, especially the rookie, really were clicking. They had at most of the time they had better bullpen support. But somehow the Dodgers, despite all that, got it done. And in the game, again, in Game 7, the pivotal game, it was old school versus new school, analytics versus the way it's always been done, Joe. Hitting for average, getting people on base. It's the single, the solo home run. The solo home run.
It's the slug.
That one a day. Yeah.
It's the slug. The slug, I said this on the show. All that hitting they had, all those men on base, when it mattered most, slugging won. Slugging won in the 8th inning, slugging won in the 9th inning, and slugging won in the 11th inning. While they were
2025.
While they were loading the bases or getting 2 on and still not coming through. This game has changed. It has changed. The Toronto Blue Jays should have won this series. This should have been the 2004 Lakers. This should have ended like the 2004 Lakers. And what I thought it was in the end, until Jeff corrected me, and there was another guy that commented on it as well. This originally was supposed to be the 2001 Lakers, where they were going to sweep Toronto. Didn't happen. Then they were slowly turning into the 2004 Lakers when they got their asses kicked by Detroit. And then I had said they turned into the 2010 Lakers when they won. But then Jeff said this is actually more the 2002 Lakers against the Kings because they won it on the road. And they won 2 on the road, right? Well, this team won 3 on the road, but they won it, and it was an OT as well. And this went into extra innings. So I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good one. And really, I don't think anybody's going to argue that was the championship series. The New Jersey series was a formality, right? So the Dodgers mimicked some of the Lakers championship runs. It's just we didn't really know until the end what it ended up being. And this is going to sound hilarious. If they get back next year and they're formidable, I don't think they're going to be this bad in hitting. I think they're going to solve this problem in the offseason. They're going to get younger, and I think they're going to start resting up guys like Freddie Freeman more and Mookie Betts. If those guys are more fresh towards the end of the year, they're going to be a problem now. Because look what they did with Will Smith the whole year. They were giving him 2 days off every week, and they had a little bit of luck where as funny as it sounds, where he broke his hand, just had a hairline fracture because he had a bounced pitch or foul onto his hand. And Will Smith usually runs out of gas towards the end of the year. And he turned into freaking clutch city all playoff. He probably was second in the MVP behind Yamamoto. So what can I say, man? It has been I've as much pain as I was in during Game 6 and Game 7, those days, it was all worth it, and it ended up being the greatest dopamine you can reverse it into.
Agreed, Serge. Craig was with you guys every step of the way. And
Craig.
Shout out too. Yeah,
thank you, Craig. Highly enjoyed you being on playback every day. Enjoyed the conversations. Enjoyed the camaraderie. Tough started coming in a little bit more towards the end there. We had other guys as well. Mark.
Raphael, big shout out to him.
Props to Raphael. Nick always there. Yeah. JSJ would show up too. The community has the only thing that sucks right now is my TV is so delayed in every sport now on every channel. Last year, I was ahead of everything on my Sportsnet feed. It would only be delayed when it was on TNT, which is, every now and then. But that was the only negative in terms of the playback versus watching and being in there. But again, Vari has volunteered to connect at the same time, but I haven't had a chance to kind of focus on it.
You do know that's the best part of your channel and my channel is the Aussie fighting. Yes. Yeah. No, I mean,
the Aussie fighting is the best part. Yeah, it's actually better on our chat.
Yeah, but it
comes out of nowhere.
Bad at all. Yeah, but it's not too bad at all.
The best ones are when Mark comes out of nowhere. He hasn't talked for the day, and then Vari's doing his thing, and then Mark will come out of nowhere and go, he's like, "Hey everyone, how you doing? I hope everyone's having a good day, except Vari."
Those two, they will,
or it'll be a random. Vari's talking about something serious, and then just Mark will come out of nowhere and go, just mute sports, baby. Just mute SB.
You know those two will miss each other if they can't talk to each other. You know those
Well,
two.
look, I'm not here to hold people's hand here, Gerald. I know you like the Hallmark moment stories,
Shut
but
up.
I'm just telling you what I'm hearing here, and you got to go into
No,
these sappy responses where they're sharing chocolates at the end of the day. I don't give a shit about any of that. All I care about is destruction, violence, and attitude. And those guys bring it, and I like it, and I want more of it, and I don't get tired of it. You dig?
They bring it to each other.
Yeah, good.
Sports Baby, Best League. He mods the channels for us. He actually runs the channels quite often on both my playback and Joe's playback as well. They're Australians, him and Mark, aka Xbox. They fight.
You're Australian. Be Australian.
Yes.
Later, Kangaroo Jack.
Yes.
You know what that's from?
Okay.
You know what that's from?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yes, but
you know that's from, right?
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry, a dingo ate your baby.
All right. And on that note, it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do.
You know that really happened. A woman lost a kid. You're about to cross some lines, man.
123 to 115.
Was that the greatest comedy ever made?
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't phrase that right. Not the best comedy.
Tropic
best
Thunder.
The best. What would be the genre of that movie? It's a spoof of something, right? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to explain
Naked Gun.
It's not really a Naked Gun, though.
Airplane. It's really.
It's
good.
not. It's not that kind of spoof.
Funniest movie. I think those are the
the spoof. The greatest spoof movie. You could argue the first Naked Gun was the best ever.
Deadpool. I was laughing out of the seat on that one.
Yeah. The first one was very funny.
Yes. My wife and I were just rolling over with laughter on that one. Xbox says, "Trust me, I regret telling SB to come back and back." Well, you know what? There you go. All right, but on that note, it is of course the Lakers fast break tomorrow on this channel.
Arizona teams being like LA teams, you need to have the right owners, Ralph. So Kroenke owns the Rams. Kroenke's won a championship in every league where he owns a team, whether it's the Avalanche, whether it's the Rams, whether it's the Denver Nuggets. And then Mark Walters owns LAFC. They've won a championship in the MLS. He owns the Dodgers. They've won 3 championships since he's owned the Dodgers. He just bought the Lakers. He's going to win championships with them, especially now that you have Luka and Austin doing their thing and the resources they're going to have from that. So it starts with the man on top, baby. It starts with the boss, and then that trickles down. But you guys lost your hockey team.
Yeah, they went to Utah, and
now they're winning. Utah Mammoth, which is a good name, by the way. And
they're actually winning now.
The nicknames are usually pretty good, usually pretty shitty. But that one actually, when I heard, they're going to be the Utah Mammoth, I was like, oh, not bad. That sounds good.
Thank you, Stefan, for the compliment there. Truly appreciate it, Stefan. But again, thank you to everyone that's watched and listened.
Phil Jackson didn't have patience, though. If you want proof, just go talk to Vladimir Radvanovich.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And Slava Medvedenko. So Slava Medvedenko almost dies. Okay, he passes out due to food insecurity. I don't know he didn't eat anything but a Snickers bar, apparently. That was the report. So he almost dies. He passes out. I'm exaggerating, almost dies. He could have maybe hit his head on the concrete and snapped, whatever. But he passes out. Phil Jackson's being asked, hey, what's going on with Slava? Or, I'm sorry, he didn't get asked what was going on. He goes, Slava just passed out. Apparently, he just ate only a Snickers bar, and low blood sugar ended up making him pass out, blah, blah, blah. And the immediate result from Phil Jackson was, that's a real juvenile diet. A real juvenile diet. Oh, man. Phil Jackson is not patient. Maybe he was patient with Michael, maybe a little bit with Scotty, and maybe Shaq and Kobe. But the only reason why he'd ever be patient is because of the results, like we talk about. You'll deal with a little
Robert
bit.
Wheeler says, last question. It's like last year where he would always pop in with the last question. But appreciate you being here. Says, has your view on the Lakers' lack of depth changed over the last couple of games? Keywords, couple of games. I believe we have enough depth that with everyone healthy, we have a strong title run chance.
I would say today's game might be the beginning of something that has changed over. I did not expect them to play this well on the road on the end of the back-to-back with no one on their team. I did not expect that. I didn't say they would lose, but I thought they were pretty damn good for all 4 quarters.
Yes, they were.
Even when they were down, even when they were down in the first quarter, I was like, they're not really playing that bad. And then they went on a run the next 3 quarters. They what was it? They were down 1 at the half.
Yeah.
And then they won each quarter in the second half.
Cool. Nick Smith Jr., with this great game, you realize at halftime he puked, talking about people getting sick. So
see, he played his. I've puked in the gym once, and that was because the guy that was training me made me puke. Go to the limit, baby. Go to the limit. Looks like Nick, and then he pukes and then has a better second half. How about that? Or maybe he was sick. Maybe I'm looking into it too much. Maybe he was sick.
Again, when it comes to depth, we'll see how it plays out. Because again, 10% of the season Robert's been playing. I think you should slow down on that right now. Let's see how it looks later this season. Plus, again, with a lot of expiring assets, it could become very attractive to trade a Maxi Kleber bundled with a Gabe Vincent, bundled with maybe another contract, and get some even more depth. That's what probably you would want to look at first. Let's see how it looks throughout the course of the season, because only 10% has been played, but the Lakers are off to a great start at 6-2, looking to go ahead and go 7-2 on Wednesday against the San Antonio Spurs. So I know Robert is the eternal optimist. I do remember that from last season, thinking the Lakers would go all the way early in the season, and he kept saying that, reiterating that. Didn't quite happen, but we'll see how competitive they are this season as we head into, again, another part of the season after the first 10% is done. We'll look more forward for more. As far as Gerald, I'm looking for the CJ McCollum buyout. Well, that will happen, Best League, because I don't think you're trading that contract if you're Washington because it's expiring. So they are probably going to have that buyout for him and Chris Middleton as well. Look for those 2 guys in Washington to be bought out, so that could provide depth for a certain team. But
well,
again,
they're 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah,
Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton have been absolute winners on the buyout market, and if they can get a Chris Middleton and he's healthy at the end of the year, woo, that could be something, man.
The other day,
that could be something.
Again, we'll look at that. We'll see how it is. Yeah. But again, playoff depth. Are these guys going to translate into good games that will contribute on a playoff run? We'll have to wait and see. So, again, great to have you guys here. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break tomorrow. For those who are not members, you will get a belated NBA observations with Caleb Ponce and I. But if you're a member, you can actually watch it right after the show. So go for it. But again, becoming a member is just $2.99 a month. Please like and subscribe to go ahead and get the latest notifications of when we go live on the air. When I make the NBA observations available, I will do that on Tuesday, and you'll get a notification. So now the McCollum conversation begins. I'll leave that up to you guys, and we'll see how this season goes. Again, 10%. Only 10% of the season is done. Let's slow down, because it can go one way or the other. It is a long season ahead, but right now it is looking good. Let's give the props where they need it to be. Let's give the props to those who helped build this team, who helped coach this team, and who are playing on this team. We'll do that, and we'll do that every time, because we're here all season long for you, whether it's the first 10% or the last 10% and everything in the middle. And no one covers it like we do right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
Uh.